me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country.
Ladies and gentlemen, this annual report that came out is more justification for reparations. Slavery is just part of what you owe, but all of the things that have happened from that point all the way up until now, you owe for that too. So, Black Americans account for 60% of firearm homicides each year, report finds. And this is a report that came out from the CDC. Now, wait until you hear the white homicide rate. So, Black people continue to be disproportionately affected by gun violence as they account for 60% of all firearm homicides, yet make up just 14% of the population. And we know they're lying about our population size. According to a new study, the Brady Center to Prevent Gun Violence analyzed firearm mortality data from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention between 2017 and 2021. Now, I want y'all to listen closely to this because I'm going to point something out here. Researchers found that the average firearm mortality homicide rate for Black people of all ages was 21.05 per 100,000 people. Now listen to the white homicide rate, because you know how they always like to run around talking about Black on white crime and Black people keep killing us. Black people are killing us. You know how they greatly exaggerate that. Now you can shut them completely down. So remember, for us, it's 21.05 per 100,000 people. Now, here is the homicide rate for white people in America: 1.93 per 100,000 people. Don't you ever let these people get back in your face and try to overly inflate this Black on white killings that are going on heavily all throughout this country. Now you can shut them down. They are lying. They are lying, and they are sensationalizing the lie. Only 1.93 per 100,000 white people are being killed by homicide. They are lying. And ain't hardly many of them dying of homicides in comparison to the Black population. So you can just completely shut all that Black on white killings going on all across this country. They try to make it sound like it's a big wave going on. It ain't even a blip. Okay? It's not even a blip going on. So let's go on. The largest disparity was between 18 to 24 age group, where Black people had a firearm mortality rate of 58.78 per 100,000 people. Now listen to the white rate. So you hear 58.78. The white rate for the same age group is 3.1 per 100,000. Keep these mofos out of your face with their phony statistics, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go on. You know, that's just them attempting to be victims, and they can never be victims up in this society. Gun violence has been a top concern for a long time in the Black community. Kelly Sampson, Senior Counsel and Director of Racial Justice at the Brady Center, told the Griot, for people who care about the Black community, you can't get away with these numbers. People will look at these numbers and blame the victim, but we know the gun violence is preventable. It is not inevitable. In 2020, gun violence became the leading cause of death for children, but it's been the leading cause of death for Black children since 2006, according to the Brady analysis. Firearm suicide rates are also growing rapidly among Black people, increasing by 50.8% over the past 5 years. So, in addition, Black people were killed 2.7 times more than white people by the police. Now, I remember a point in time on YouTube, they used to flood our comment section claiming they were killed more by the cops than we were. And when you start looking at the numbers and start looking at the videos, that's an outright lie. They have never, ever been killed more in this country by the police. Never. And it does not show on this recent report either as them getting killed the most by the cops. Like I said, everything has been greatly exaggerated and inflated and just outright lies when it comes down to them. So 27% of the people shot and killed by the police since 2015, the report shows. There's been a lot of research in the explicit bias works in terms of policing. That has to do with the way Black people are seen, Sampson said. People who live in the community affected by gun violence tend to be the ones who step up and do the work to address it. People care about all of it. It doesn't matter where the bullet is coming from. If it takes your child away, you're going to care about it, Sampson said. That's how Lachelle Rice looks at the problem. In 2013, her oldest son, Jarrell Key, was shot and killed in Baltimore in an armed robbery. 10 years later, her youngest son, Jaron Key, was killed after getting caught in the crossfire of a shooting. Rice does community outreach work with Moms Demand Action in Baltimore, which is part of Every Town for Gun Safety, another national gun violence prevention nonprofit. I think we're starting to really hear from the communities where gun violence is happening. We're tired of the violence, Rice said, adding that she believes there's been a shift in how the issue is discussed today. It's reported that the impact that is having on the individual person, all of the attention is not on the perpetrator. The report is on how it has affected the community, the home, and the family. She contended that the decision makers in cities struggle, need to be, they're saying they need to do a better job and provide resources to the area that needs them the most. Many of those who are in power don't want to admit that there needs to be better education, there needs to be better resources available for families, Rice said. Even with the tragedy her family has faced, Rice says she believes things will get better at some point. This isn't something that's happened overnight, so it's going to take time, Rice said. I don't give up hope that things will change. So, y'all, white people are hardly facing that much homicide. But out of racism, they keep running around saying that we're killing them. Why are we killing them? And they're not hardly being killed in this country in comparison to the Black community. So it starts shutting that mess down that they're running around lying and saying, and present this to them. You know, they're not going to like it because they have this thing about trying to be victims when they're not victims at all. So, y'all, You're going to have to tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.